Welcome back to the Elevator Life, everybody.
Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you're having a good week this week. We're excited. You're watching this. I am probably somewhere lost in Cambodia.
Definitely, probably at a temple, Angkor Wat, somewhere around there.
Yeah,
good place. Good place.
Man, I'm excited for Angkor Wat. You've been to Angkor Wat. What is like? What's it like?
It's like a Disneyland, like a big playground, big temples, just those dirt roads wandering around. It's just really, and the city itself, Siem Reap, a lot to offer as well. Floating villages, forests, wading through rivers, whatever you want to do, and always a good party there as well. So
floating villages.
Yeah, they're very cool. Like all built, I guess, built on the river of Tonle Sap. I don't know. I forget the name of the lake, but there's like a little outlet. The school's like floating, and like the houses rise and lower with the water depending on the season. It's really cool.
Yeah, man, we're pretty excited. Cambodia's gonna be a good experience. It's always been on the list, you know. Gonna try and get my Tomb Raider on a little bit over in those temples.
Yeah. Got mandatory photo to take, the Tomb Raider photo. I got one.
You got one?
Oh, yeah.
Oh man. So yeah, but then heading to the States after that.
Yeah.
So
and I might be joining him as well in the States, but I guess we'll see how that plays out in a few weeks.
Yep, moving all over the place, guys. Come join us. We would love to host people over here, show you guys China, what it's really like over in Asia.
And you'll see why everybody keeps coming back and moving back.
It's a good time, it's a good experience. Today we want to talk about a really cool topic. Vivian, one of our close contacts, posted on our site this last week asking our opinion, because she's starting a new brand, what's our opinion on products made in China? Is it bad for her business to have her product manufactured in China if she's starting a new brand? What are the connotations or the effects that we've seen of people having their brands developed here?
Yeah.
So we're going to really dive into that topic today.
Yeah, and just to start it off, I mean, to be, I guess, as point blank as we can, China doesn't make bad products. Businesses or business owners choose to make those bad products because I think everybody knows two of the most, valued products or used products, Apple iPhone, Nike, clothing wear, footwear, all have factories and all have made their products in China, and these are seen as some of the most valuable and, I guess, well-tested, well-valued products in the world.
It would be surprising for most people to find out what products are made here. Pretty much everything you can imagine is manufactured here.
Yeah.
And that's just something to keep in the back of your mind. So let's dig into really what do people think of manufactured in China and all that good stuff. We want to start off with talking about what he just said. Products made in China, they can make anything. They make it to the business owner specifications. That goes hand in hand with a lot of business owners that come over here looking for the cheapest price. So do not let the blame fall on China making terrible products. If you bought a product and it was from China and it broke, that is because the person that you bought it from asked them to hit a price point.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the only reason it was cheap. And that's just, I guess it's laid back on China, on their reputation of making bad products, but they make it really to a business owner. You can come over and you can pay for a $6 pair of sandals.
Yeah.
Those would be some really nice sandals. But most people come over here and ask for a 50-cent pair of sandals. So that's what you get. You get what you pay for. So you're really buying it from the customer. You're buying it from the company. You're not buying it from China.
Well, it's like buying, it depends what you're even looking for. Even if you take foods, for example, in the States, you can get the generic brand, which is just no name, kind of off-label. It's going to be half the price of a branded product that may be the exact same, or maybe you may step it up to like an organic food, which of course is going to cost more. But China has the capability to produce very low end to very high end, but it all reflects on the kind of consumer you are and what you want your brand to really represent. Because then it's really up to you in regards to what the cost is going to be.
Yeah, and just talking about the factories, some of these factories, guys, are skilled. They can make things really nice, extremely detailed.
Yeah.
But once again, it comes down to who are you actually buying the product from? You're not buying the product from China. You're buying the product from whatever company or whatever brand that you're purchasing.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the first step, guys. China does not make bad products. It can make bad products only if bad products are wanted. Pretty much look at China as someone that sits here, customers come in and can you do this? Yes. Can you do this? Yes. Can you do this? Yes. And they produce everything.
Yeah.
Okay? Moving on. When you're looking to launch a brand, you personally, a lot of the thing that goes into it are customers' views of that brand. What do you want them to think when you see your product? Okay, and I think that's what she was talking about when she asked, what's the effect of me having it produced in China?
Yeah.
Well, guys, all transactions are based on trust. Okay, that is why it doesn't really matter that Apple is manufactured in China. You trust Apple.
Yeah.
Okay, it doesn't really. Obviously, no one cares that they're made in China. No one does, because they've got that trust.
Yeah.
Okay, no one cares at all where it comes from. Same thing with Nike. People are going to keep buying Nike shoes because they love the brand. The brand awareness is there. The brand identity is there. It's super strong.
The quality's there.
The quality's there. No one cares that it's manufactured. I mean, some people care that it's manufactured in China for very false reasons.
Yeah, exactly.
But for the most part, it doesn't affect the buying power because it's based on trust. So that is something to take into consideration.
Well, I think it even goes back, like, even when we were growing up, when Michael Moore did that documentary about, factories leaving America and coming abroad and the negative connotations you have with what goes on in those factories. But China, it's been developing very quickly, but it's also been, they've had to step their game up as well, so then they don't continue getting these bad raps, like quality controls increased, and as long as you use the right factory, as long as you find someone reliable who's like a proven factory or a manufacturer you can trust, or an agent, then your problem should be minimal. It just depends again what you really want to say with your brand and what you're trying to do, what target market you're really going after. Because then they can, like you said, they can make any product you want. It just depends what you want.
Exactly. And we say they make great products. The only kind of side note to that was if your quality control kind of goes out the door, then products would come in, every certain which way. But again, that's on the business owner.
Exactly.
Speaking towards target clients, when you're talking about your brand image and you're launching your brand, you personally got to think of what you're going to base those values of your company on. If one of your major selling points needs to be manufactured in America, and that's going to be a huge selling point, obviously don't have it manufactured in China.
Yeah.
Okay? Where it's made, if that is going to be a selling point, then there's no reason to make it in China.
Yeah.
A lot of people, maybe when they launch companies, they do take that into effect, especially when like he was just saying, who is your target customer? If it's some very anti labor or anti natural, like all natural, all organic consumer, if that's your target market, then maybe having it made in China isn't the best idea.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so really look at your target market, guys. But what we found for most people, if you look at really one of our favorite websites for shopping in the States, jackthreads.com. That website is fantastic. If you haven't seen it, go take a look at it. Everything on there is on discount sales. Really cool fashion, really cool designs. But one of the cool things they do is they require that you have the origin of the product on there. And if you look on there, almost all of them are from China. So that just gives you a little glimpse into how many people do make it in China, and people are still buying those. Why? Because they're extremely cool products from extremely cool businesses that have made smart business decisions to come have them manufactured in China.
And I mean, and they're still good quality. I think it really comes down to, because we were having this discussion the past few days just about, when we think made in China, what do we think of when we think of that? Now it's like, yeah, we've seen great products come out of here, but we also know that when we go back to the States, when people say China, or I think older generations look at it like, like bad quality, cheap, huge quantities produced, just bad products. But it's not the case at all, if you really look at, if you do your homework and find someone who's going to produce something really high quality, something, like higher end. They produce that same stuff here, and you'd be surprised who actually does it, but doesn't say it because they downplay it. But if you really follow the tracks, you'll see, this is also made in China. So it really depends who you're targeting, like Tim just said, about whether you want those natural, very patriotic people who want it made, within domestically, or whether you're just trying to get a really high quality product to as many consumers as you can, and you're trying to be, price point is a concern for you, then you're going to have to definitely come to China or one of
makes sense to come to China
manufacturing companies.
In that point.
Countries, sorry.
It's going back to that consumer point. If it is that really niche, maybe you're selling to 50-plus-year-olds who do have that strong patriotic feel and they want it made in America, if that's your single niche, then probably not a good idea to make in China. But if you're selling to like a more generalized population, more general public, an age group or something like that, a younger age group, or like males or females or anything like that, I personally, when I'm buying a product, if it's either fashion or anything, I will never ever be like, oh, it's made in China. I won't even think about it.
Yeah, me neither.
And that's something to also consider, guys. Most of your customers, they're not gonna search in depth into where you're getting it made from. A lot of it doesn't. Those reasons don't even come into my mind when I'm purchasing.
I mean, they're gonna care about the quality first and foremost, and if they get it and it breaks in a week, then that was a bad business decision by you to make that product, or by the business owner. You should focus on delivering, giving them something of value. You know what I mean? Even a lot of the shirts we're wearing right now, these were tailored here in China, but they've lasted a very long time. This has lasted over a year for me. It's just, it's simple. I mean, his is brand new. That's why it's shiny and looks all nice. But yeah, they make great quality products. I mean, that's something tailored here. The fabrics, the same as you'll get from many major clothing lines, big famous brands. Same fabric, sourced here from China, but difference is I just bought it here, and that's why I got a good price on it, I guess.
It's the truth. Let's take that back to the trust thing. All purchases are based on trust. They don't need to trust where your brand is from or where it's made. They need to trust in the product that they're getting from you. The best way to build trust in your product is to give the customer what they want. That's a quality product that works. That's exactly what they think they're buying. And that's the best way to build a brand.
Yeah.
Give them a quality product, market it the best way you can, and make sure that when they get it, it highly exceeds their expectations. Okay?
Then there won't be any questions.
Yeah. The way to build trust isn't to guarantee it's manufactured in America, in my opinion. Okay?
Of course, yeah.
So think about it like this. Let's look at a little situation. You're a bootstrap business startup. Okay? You want to supply the best quality product to your consumer. Okay? How do you do that? Well, if you're bootstrapping, you don't have all the money in the world.
Yeah.
Right? So when you're looking at getting it manufactured in America or something, okay, the higher wages, higher costs are going to come into that.
Of course.
Okay, so in order to hit this high level of quality, you're going to have to spend a lot more money. Well, China allows startup businesses who are bootstrapping to come to China, work with the factories, and get those really high-end quality products made at lower prices.
Yeah.
Okay? So it's not, oh, I'm a bootstrapper, I should go to China because I want cheap stuff. That needs to be thrown out of your thinking. And that's another reason why we don't think about it probably.
Yeah,
because we've seen it firsthand. We're like, made in China. I used to think, I remember back in the States, oh, it's probably made in some kind of factory, just like huge manufacturing lines, no one really cares.
Yeah.
Now I've seen it's way different than that. That's not actually the case. And a lot more people understand that that is actually not the case. And so when you're bootstrapping, China is a great alternative to manufacturing in America because you can hit high quality points with lower costs, which allows you to build trust in your consumer base because you're supplying them with a really high quality product.
Yeah, I mean, we're known, where we're based in this province, it's been known as like the factory of the world kind of thing because it produces so many goods. But a lot of these goods, yeah, of course, there's going to be some in the low end, there's going to be some mid-range, there's going to be some high end. And like you said, it depends. These factories we've gone to visit, some of them have been a couple hundred, couple thousand people sometimes. And then other ones are very just true to their trade and they do something really well. And these products, that you're getting, it's not going to say, made in China just right on the open flap of it, maybe on the back tag, or maybe it won't say it at all, but because they know they're providing something of value, and then if it's good, you're not going to ask questions at the end of the day.
100%. I mean, products in China, I want to say, I don't want to back ourselves into a corner because you can get quality products in China if you do it the right way.
Yeah.
If you're sitting on Alibaba and you're going, I'm going to order these and I'm going to sell them and build trust in my consumer base and provide them with this, and you're ordering them over the internet, or not using a guy like Mike or anything like that.
Stefan.
Yeah, any of those sourcing agents, you're not doing it the right way, you're not guaranteeing your product is going to be quality.
Yeah.
Then there's a high chance that your product is not going to be good at all.
Be up to your expectations.
Yeah. There's no quality control going on, but if it's done right, China will supply high-end quality products and will allow you to build trust in that consumer base. So coming back around to answer those questions, what are people's views on products made in China? What do you think? How do we sum it up?
I mean, personally, I think I don't think people pay as much attention to it as all. I think it's a kind of readily known fact, but at the same time, I don't think people will focus on it either. So overall, I think products made in China you can have great products as long as the business owner or the person who's running the project has the right vision for what their product will be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would just put yourself in the position. What's your end goal? Is your end goal to worry about where consumers are thinking that it's made, or is your end goal to make the best product you can possibly make?
Yeah.
I would love it if someone's like, oh man, I want to buy this, but it's made in China. I don't know if I really trust it. You send them one, they get it, and it's like the best product they've ever seen. It's extremely well made. They're like, wow, okay.
Yeah, and I mean
they trust your brand. After that, they're like, there you go.
Yeah, well, I mean,
that's all it takes.
There's in China, there's Vietnam, Cambodia. I mean, all these places, like we've talked about in earlier posts, they're developing. They're starting to manufacture as well, and some of them are really, really good at producing products that domestically are produced there that they turn into consumer products. Mm-hmm. So just always pay attention to that, because you're going to get some good stuff, and a lot of the stuff you already have, probably definitely made here. You'd be surprised at what already is, but you just never even thought about it because it's nice. It's a good product.
Exactly. Yeah, a lot of people only think about it when it breaks, and they try and search for it to see where it's made.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, it's made in China, and so they assume that all products are made in China. Yeah, so bringing it together, guys, not all products made in China are bad quality. Actually, a lot of them that come from this country are extremely high-end, top-notch quality. Mm-hmm. Okay, so when you're considering making a product in China, quality shouldn't be an issue if you're willing to go the extra, do the extra work to make sure and guarantee that it's manufactured correctly.
Yeah, gotta go the extra mile. You can't do anything lazily. You can't, like you said, Alibaba.com, that's a crapshoot. But if you come look at the factory, you hire an agent who does your quality control, and he does it for other brands, etc., the odds are much more in your favor.
Mm-hmm. When you're starting a brand, guys, all purchases, all business is built on trust. If you can supply quality products, build trust with your consumer base, they will buy your product, it will grow your brand. It's not going to be because it's made in China that your brand doesn't work. Yeah. Taking into consideration, if you are going after an extremely niche group that does feel strongly against making in China, obviously steer away from that. But it could be very, very favorable to bootstrappers, anyone that's running a startup, or even brands that have already built trust. The trust is there, and they're looking to increase their margins. Yeah. Come to China, make your products, your trust is there, and let's continue the quality products you're making, and just increase your revenues, or increase your margin. Going on, I personally don't see it as a huge problem at all. Obviously, most of the other companies in the world don't see it as a huge problem at all because most of them make their products here. Yeah. So that's, I guess, to sum it up, our thoughts here at the Elevator Life of the effects of having your products made here in China.
Pretty much nothing.
Yeah?
Yeah. They're good products. There's bad products, the same as everywhere that produces or manufactures things. You just have to do your homework and figure out who you want to attack.
I know this was a little bit of a rant, guys, but now you know how we feel about products made in China.
Yeah, and if you want to get anything that was made, you know who to get in touch with.
Alright, guys. Have a good week. Make some moves. Instead of procrastinating, do it.
Keep up on your resolutions. We'll be checking in.
Alright, guys.
All right, cheers, everyone.
Later.